rugged shores and woodlands of the north, its history of copper mines and iron ore, the Great Lakes fishery. To the farmlands of the southern counties we'll look around, my friend, at all that waits the sportsman in the state of Michigan. And sometimes when the moon brings out the diamonds in the snow, and the stillness of the forest lies encased in Arctic cold, the wind might whisper through the trees, listen if you can, it tells you of the beauty in the state of Michigan.
Hi there, come on in. It's Thursday night, May 13th, 2004. You know, mushroom hunters are still finding lots of morels in the north. Zachary has a recipe coming up for mushroom soup made with fresh morels. It'll knock your socks off with flavor, definitely restaurant quality. Some interesting issues are surfacing with the governor and the DNR. Zachary and I will have details in a moment, so stay tuned. I'm Fred Trost with a half hour of outdoor news and information for the practical sportsman.
This week's featured county is a little unusual because the name did not come from a Native American word. It wasn't named after an American politician. It was named after a British military man, Major Henry Gladwin, who was in charge of the fort at Detroit, and he was the only military leader in the Midwest who withstood the attacks by Chief Pontiac during his siege of Detroit. Gladwin County is a little ways from Detroit. It's up here in the central, northeastern section of Michigan's Lower Peninsula. It was first settled in 1861 by Marvel Secord, who was canoeing the Tittabawassee River with his family when he came upon the mouth of the Sugar River. The translation of the Indian word Tittabawassee, by the way, means the river that follows the trail. As the story goes, the river was named by an Indian who camped on the banks of the river. The area remained quiet until the 1880s when the lumbering boom hit the thick white pine forests of Gladwin County. The county seat is the city of Gladwin, located at the junction of M18 and M61. An annual tourist attraction is the Gladwin Air Show in July at the Gladwin Airport. The show is free and features a lot of old planes going through their paces. Gladwin is situated on the Cedar River, and the town was originally named Cedar until the locals discovered that another city was already named Cedar. Another Gladwin County town that changed its name was Grand Forks, or Three Forks, located at the junction of the Cedar and Tobacco Rivers. The town was founded by Donald Gunn Ross and Sons, who were lumbermen from Beaverton, Ontario. You can guess what's coming. The Ross family later renamed Grand Forks to Beaverton as a tribute to their Canadian hometown. Beaverton's main attraction is the dam at the junction of the rivers that creates a scenic pond that offers some good fishing. Several more dams on the Sugar, Tittabawassee, Cedar, and Tobacco Rivers, along with the Tittabawassee River State Forest that covers almost a quarter of the county, makes Gladwin County an outdoor playground that has plenty to show off in our Fish and Game Hall of Fame. On the next Fish and Game Hall of Fame, we'll be featuring Otsego County.
We got a serious hunter here. Bob Cox from Ortonville. He was up here last year with his trophies, and then this year he has two. One is that wild turkey, which has What, a 23 and a half pounder? That's huge. Yeah, that 11 and an eighth inch beard, that was Oakland County. And if that wasn't enough, then in November, bow hunting, he got this buck, which is an 8-pointer, 17-inch spread, 11 and 3/8 inch tines. Why is this mounted in that sneak position?
Well, that's the way we came in following the doe. I got out there in the morning and I was hunting over one of my fake mock scrapes with my hanging branch, lick branch, and I had a 6-pointer, but he was a 3-point. Once I broke off, he kept running some does, erping, and
Erpin.
you know, when they're running tail in a doe, they erp.
Oh, okay. This is a sort of a spin-off of the grunt, an erp.
Tail grunt. But anyways, I'm like, man, here he comes. So I had a doe come right out in front of me. She stopped at my mock scrape, urinated in it. She looked back, took off, and I heard the erp coming. I'm like, man, here comes that little buck. And all of a sudden I seen him coming, and he about 18 yards broadside, dropped his nose right there and was smelling it, and I let him have it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's something. Well, you are a serious bow hunter.
Yeah, I like bow hunting, yeah.
But I mean, you put a lot into it with the mock scrapes and the licking branch and make a whole science out of it.
Yeah, like I did last year, I get my licking branches and my scrape material from up here, and I transport it out in Oakland County where I hunt. And I use them zip strips, and it works. I rattle and grunt, so it pays off. But also, I'd like to say I'm a meat hunter, but over the past 5 years, you know, but I got the opportunity to do this, I can let a lot of bucks go, and this is probably one of them I let go 3 or 4 years ago.
I'll be darned. Well, look at this buck on your shirt there. This is quite a face. American Hunting Club, North American Hunting Club. Boy, that's American all the way.
Yeah, I subscribe to a bunch of magazines.
I
I
imagine.
do a lot of reading.
Well, very good. This is the Professor Robert Cox, who takes hunting to a new level.
Now, Fred, I ain't done yet.
Oh, he's not done yet.
No, Fred, I've been watching you
Uh-oh.
ever since I was a young lad through Michigan Outdoors, this program, and you really do a lot for a sportsman. So, I took liberties. Took me about 3 weeks. But, Fred, I would like to present you this plaque for helping a sportsman out.
Well, how about that? That
So-
is neat. Michigan, the turkey, the gun, for being there for us sportsmen. Robert and Cheryl.
I want to thank you for being there for us sportsmen, and on behalf of the Ortonville community, myself and my wife, thank you.
Hey, well, thank you, Bob. That's
You're welcome.
that's something else. Hey, it's not about me. This is your people like you is what put me on TV with
Well.
this show. So you keep it up.
You got me out in the woods.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Robert and Cheryl Cox. Whoa, that's awesome. Thank you.
Tonight's recipe uses an ingredient that's commonly found while you're turkey hunting, the morel mushroom. This recipe is called morel and button mushroom soup. It's a pretty simple recipe. To start with our soup base, we're going to use some water, chicken broth, a stalk of celery, diced carrot, small onion, button mushrooms, and then voila, freshly picked Michigan morels. We're going to start our soup. We're going to turn the temperature here on medium-high heat or so. We're going to start with our water, 2 cups, and about a half a can of chicken broth. They've made them smaller now, so it's a little over a half a can. Once we get our chicken broth and water started here, we're going to add the chopped celery, carrots, and onions. And next we're going to take our button mushrooms and our morels, and we're just going to, cut these in half, just cut them up a little bit. All of these ingredients, after they simmer for 30 minutes, are going to go into the food processor or a blender, and we're going to puree this. So you really don't need to cut this stuff super small, but you also want to release the flavor. Now that we've got our mushrooms chopped up, we're going to add those to our broth here. We're going to let this simmer for 30 minutes once it comes to a boil. Now the second half of this recipe, we make what's called a roux. It's R-O-U-X. It's used a lot in Cajun New Orleans cooking. And the roux we're going to be making is the easiest of the roux. It's called a light roux, and it's also called a blonde roux. The key here is to not let your butter burn. We're going to take our half a stick of butter, and we're going to slowly add 4 tablespoons of flour while this is melting. Well, our butter is completely melted here. It's just starting to bubble. We're going to make sure that the heat is not too high. And what we're going to do, like I said, is make our roux. We're going to start stirring in 4 tablespoons of flour. You want to do this slowly to avoid lumping. Okay, at this point, as your roux is hitting that blonde color, we're going to start slowly stirring our milk in. Try to get those lumps down, and also doing this slowly. It's going to slowly thicken up. It's not going to, you see how it's thickening up? It's going right into that roux. Don't be afraid to take your time with this. It's going to be well worth it. You can also grab a spatula here and also get some of this roux that's stuck to the side of the pan. You want to get that mixed right into your milk mixture here. We've mixed all of our milk into our roux here. We've got a nice soup, cream soup base here. We're a little ahead here. We've got to wait for our soup base to continue to simmer here for a few more minutes. But while we do that, why don't we go ahead and look at some morel hunting video.
Unlike deer hunting, our quarry never moves and is totally silent. Finding morels takes the same skills that you need, say when you look for pieces to fit into a jigsaw puzzle. There's one right. In fact, there's 2 of them. Can you see it there under the stick, John?
Oh yeah, okay.
Right there. Now this is what's called a false morel. Now this is the way you pick them. There's a lot of controversy about this. I break them off right there and leave the roots or the fibers underneath there. This is a false morel. You see how it's not attached? Right there, you can pull this cap right off. That's not a true morel. A true morel, as we'll see in a little bit, I'm sure we'll find one, or a bunch of them will be attached all the way around, but it's called a false morel. Some people can be more allergic to these if they're allergic to anything. But we put them right in a bucket. You want to keep them in an open container if you use plastic like this. It's not that plastic bags are taboo, because I've used them before. The problem is they can develop humidity and moisture that spoils the mushrooms. Morels need to have fresh air. I've hit the mother lode. I see 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's one right here. Oh, here's another. This is a true morel. Here's a false morel, a very small one. Black and white morels have pitted heads that are built right into the stems. You can't pull the tops off like you can with the false morel. An imposter that has a different wrinkling pattern to its cap that you'll learn to recognize it quickly. Yeah, look at that. White morels, black morels, false morels, they all taste great when fried in butter. And if you're not allergic to these mushrooms, May is the month to join the hunt.
Well, now our vegetables are good and simmered here. We're going to take them off the heat, and here's the clincher. These are going to go into either a food processor or a blender. Here I know it's going to be no problem to put this hot liquid into my food processor. At home you might want to let this cool if you're not sure the temperature safetiness of your blender. Do a couple of starts there. Okay, we're going to take our puree mixture here and incorporate it into our roux. Okay, we've gotten all of our pureed vegetables into our cream base here. The ingredient now calls for a little bit of a kicker, a little curry powder. We're going to put a half a teaspoon of curry powder here into our mixture. We're going to also salt it to taste, let it simmer for about another 10 minutes, and it's ready to serve. The reason it looks a lot darker than your normal mushroom soup is from the morels. I'm telling you, this is gonna be good. Well, now the test.
I tell you.
See, you like mushroom soup.
Well, I
so
love
this should
mushroom
be a
soup.
pretty good test here.
But I love Campbell's mushroom soup, made with water. So
There's
know,
water in here.
This better not have ruined the morels. So if this tastes like regular mushroom soup, I'm going to be bummed. Oh, man.
Can you tell the ingredients?
Oh, man.
There is a secret ingredient in there.
No, but I can taste the morels. That woody, nutty, meaty flavor. Oh,
And I think that's the reason in this recipe to use
Holy
half
cow.
the button mushrooms, half morels. I think if you used all morels in here, it would just overpower the other ingredients.
Because this is a good, heavy flavor of the morels. Man, I like the texture, too. Yeah, it's not...
So do I.
It's not creamy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see that. It's a carrot, and yeah, right. Here's a little corner of the museum. I guess I call it my glory wall with plaques and things I've gotten over the years. And of course, the most recent addition is this one from Robert and Cheryl Cox. They gave me at the banquet. Why, lo and behold, there's Zachary's turkey that he got this spring. Well, I sure appreciate that plaque. And if you appreciate that show, I hope you'll come back and join us right here next week. See you then.